Good evening and welcome back to another Saturday night movie night. You are here with me, Kristen, from Krista's Beauty on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, any social media thing you can think of, Venmo. I, once a week, sit back and watch a spooky, scary horror film, and then we talk about it the next week as I do my makeup and hair. If you are watching this on YouTube, you should go ahead and hit the bell icon to be notified when I upload new videos. I will be making a Saturday night movie night every Saturday, headed all the way up to Halloween. This week's movie of the week will be the Texas Chainsaw remake with, Jessica Biel and all of that sort of stuff. Let's go ahead and roll in with the spooky.
All right, so in 2003, they decided to remake the classic The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and it's pretty similar-ish to the original, but they do change some things. Like, they change the name of the family. They changed it to the Hewitts, I think, is how you say it, and they kind of expanded and added in a few females, actually, to the family as well. But overall, they do keep it very true to the original, but just kind of modernizing it. Those are the few things we do know about this movie. Here are some things that you might not have known. So because they wanted to keep it as close to the original as they possibly could in a modern sense, they brought in a lot of kind of like the supporting staff from the original movie, which I think always makes sense. You seem to, do a better, tribute to the original when you do things like that. Two of the original stars from the original were actually thinking about having cameos in this. The girl, I think Marilyn Burns is her name. She was, I guess they were going to bring her back and have a little cameo saying that, she was committed after the original incident that happened in 1974, but the idea was completely tossed out once they decided that, they didn't want anything, like, in this movie, they were going to forget about the original, like, these are the real new events. Leatherface actor was also thinking about coming in for a cameo, but it just didn't end up working out that way either. Originally, Marilyn Manson was supposed to do the score for this movie after doing the Resident Evil film in 2002. I guess he had gotten a lot of hype from doing that. I imagine, too, from doing things like From Hell and having parts in it. And even MTV, this was going to happen. They had already announced it, but then he had to drop out at the last minute due to scheduling conflicts and, that sort of stuff. This film is actually the highest grossing film of the entire franchise. And I have noticed in looking in this, typically your first remakes of things, especially if there's been a long gap of years in between, filming of these movies, it tends to be higher, I would say, in the theaters. And something about the early 2000s too, you just definitely get a lot more money being made off of films, because I think that's something we're going to be seeing, going into the future, because movie-going is just not what it used to be. Therefore, that's going to affect ticket prices and how much money, we make off of these movies. So I think it makes sense that at that time, like the 90s and early 2000s were probably like the best time, I would say, for movie-going and making money off of films. And that's why we haven't seen more money being made off of the later sequels and continuations of this franchise. Also, I think a lot of people get burned by that first franchise movie, and like remakes and stuff. They get burned by it because, it's never going to be the same as the original. That's just how remakes work. But I think that definitely trickles people out. They go to see that and they go, oh man, this is not what I thought. And then they don't go to see another ever again. So overall, with this remake, It's not the best, it's not the worst. I'm kind of very neutral about the whole thing, really. Do I like aspects of it? Sure. I don't know. I don't know if there's also nostalgia because I do remember this coming out when I was a child. I didn't watch it, but I remember the trailers and everything like that out. I like that we kind of introduced Jessica Biel in at this time. Well, I guess she wasn't technically introduced. But anyway, like, she definitely, her career grew through this film. And I think that's a very interesting concept because you would never associate her with the Scream Queen, ever. I wish Katie Cassidy was in it. Anything for the early 2000s, I think Katie Cassidy should be in because I just love her. But honestly, as far as remakes go, again, very neutral about the whole thing. Like, the original is just such a beautiful work of art, literally, that it's just one of those, you almost can't compare the two. Like, that's just at such a standard that you're always going to have to keep in mind it's never going to capture that. But that's also something when it comes to, like, very specific, almost period films now at this point. Like, anything from the 70s, it's going to be, in my opinion, personally, I love 70s horror. It's just going to be so much better, and it's just a different time that you can modernize it, but it's just not the same. Like, things just change. So those are my thoughts, feelings on this remake. Tell me what you think. Do you like this one? Do you prefer the original? I'm sure you do. Most people do. So let me know what you think down in the comments.
Thank you so much for watching another Saturday Night Movie Night. I hope you have a great, spooky, horrific week, and I will see you all next week with another spooky one. Stay spooky.